o'clock already. Oh, why's my screen so small? Oh, whatever. New format, I guess. Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me just give it a second here. And start. By the way, is it 10 o'clock yet? Is it 3 minutes? I guess I could start early, huh? Pull this. Get this first here. It's actually better now than where it was. All right, that works. And those two don't work. Those two work. Where's the other blue one? Let me start this up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are here on another week of Mortgage Protection Mastery. I am Jason Ferrero. I am going to be explaining how to make mortgage protection sales, final expense, and annuity sales by creating the sale, which can be done in all homes. Now, I want to back up after I go through a few things on this and tell you how it all starts. But in mortgage protection, the average rep can earn $100,000, $250,000, and even reps are earning $500K on their own pen. And the real difference between these numbers is it has a lot to do with the expertise of the individual, knowing the products. It really comes down to, so if you're product smart, because I've seen the stupidest rep on earth be able to make these numbers, but be product smart. And then, you know, it also has to come down with demographics. So you can have a rep in an area that's tearing it up, put him in a different area, and he can't make sales. I do know of reps that go into elderly areas like Florida, Texas, and southern states, and even in the northern states, who cannot make a single sale due to the fact that the demographics are being older. Younger reps are really good at working with younger people. Not a lot of younger reps are really good at working with older people. They're way out of their era league. If you're 40-ish to 50 to 60 years of age in this industry, you can do very well in mortgage protection working with older people. If you're younger, you usually do a hell of a great job working with 40 and below. And that's where the difference is between these guys making 400 grand, and it really does come down to demographics. Now, not all the time. There are a lot of experts that can make a lot of money that are older too with the younger crowd. But the younger reps, if you want to know the demographics, you know, 40 and above work really good with the senior market when it comes to mortgage protection, and 40 and below work with the better, you know, when it comes to working with younger people. Final expense, on the other hand, you know, easily $100,000 gig to $400,000 a year people are earning. And that's, you know, that's the same idea. You know, if you're 40 and below, you can work really well with younger people, teach them about, even in the final expense market arena, I know reps that are making 400 grand doing final expense, but they're teaching these people how to use index universal lives, not only to cover the final expense, but to have a retirement plan put aside. So if you can get them taught on how to learn about the index universal life and its benefits towards their future in retirement while protecting their final expense needs at the end, you can use index universal lives there. If you want to keep it cheap and simple, you keep the final expense products and keep the face amount below $40,000. The annuities, on the other hand, are a little different. I mean, there are people doing $10,000 to $10 million a year and more, guys. I don't want to get too outrageous with this. A year. The difference between these two is all about flooding them out. Now, I'm talking about life insurance reps. So when you have a mortgage protection lead, you can easily add another $100,000 to $200,000 a year into your income by being a final expense or mortgage protection sales rep who sells not only these types of incomes, but adding that to it. So adding an extra $100,000 to $200,000 a year on your. If you're selling final expense, same thing. You can still get to 100 grand. When I first started as a broker in the industry, I was selling nothing but final expense and B leads by you that were like 50 cents to $2 a pop. And I was a very low contract level, but I was able to pull these kind of numbers out every year due to the fact that I was able to sell the annuities. Now the annuities, yes, there's a big difference between $10,000 a year and $10 million a year. And the biggest difference would be mortgage protection usually leads you to more annuities. So definitely can get to $200,000 extra using mortgage protection and above. If you use these strategies I teach you today to get annuities out on the table, I'm going to keep it pretty simple too today, but I know everybody wants to sell annuities, so I do want to get into it today. So, you could get to, if you had an entire team selling, it's kind of tough to do $10 million in annuities on your own. If you had a $100 million annuity, you could make $10 million bucks. So it's not impossible, but it likely won't happen, So especially coming from our final expense and mortgage protection leads, you better have a brick and mortar and some real advertising out there, with really some word of mouth of the smaller numbers that you've taken care of over the years to lead you to these bigger numbers. Now, the bigger numbers will be out there later. That's after you've built evidence of people making money or securing and protecting their money in a downside market and upside market potentials. So if you're able to get a ton of clientele throughout the years, selling small numbers, earning about $100,000 to $200,000 a year, you're selling annuities ranging in between $10,000 and $1 million per annuity, and then you're tapping into an income extra on top of your $100,000 to $400,000 a year income, adding an income. So if you're a rep, let me put it this way. If you're a rep selling final expense and you're only making $50,000 a year, and you find a $500,000 annuity, you find $500,000 somewhere in somebody's portfolio, and you get paid $30,000 on there, well, you're almost at $100,000 a year, except it didn't take 6 months to get there, took one sit to get there. So that's why annuities are very valuable, and you are licensed for them. So it would be a smart idea. If everybody's like, everybody that talks to me is like, I'm so hungry, I can't wait to start this. And everybody thinks that their mindset is just like sitting with people and writing apps, and that's great and everything, but there's a lot more to this than just that. So you have to write it down, get prepared. Understand that there is going to be lead orders. Run it like a business. I tell every one of my reps, when you run it like a business, it gives back to you like a business. And it will. Like the businesses that you see successful. You treat it like a McDonald's, it's going to give you money like McDonald's franchisees earn. So what you have to do, though, is you have to learn how to create. This says create the sale, if you can't read it. Creating the sale. And that means, you know, I always talk about the word need, you know, and saying that the individual has a need for final expense because they filled out the card, or they answered the telephone call in a telelead. The mortgage protection direct mail is easily, they find the need through buying a mortgage or refinancing. So they want to cover the mortgage in case they pass away and their loved ones need the home paid off, or they want to buy time to sell the house. So the annuity need is created in the home every time. We don't offer any, and it never worked. I've tried them anyway. They don't really work when you advertise annuities in the fashion of direct mail. I'm sure someday maybe I'll create a bomb direct mail card that really will affect the market somehow. But till now, that's not how it works. You don't really need to spend that kind of money on direct mail anyway when you have the leads right here. Mortgage protection and final expense will lead you to the annuity sale, and creating the sale is what you need to do inside the home. So if you can just get to creating this, and that's just like pitching the whole way that the annuity would help them protect their money. If you can stick your mind into protection mode and not really saying, hey, I can earn you all this money, and you say, just, I want to protect what you have for now. And because the market crash, if you Google, we're definitely, it happens all the time. We're in a very, very upside market. So we're going down. Someday, somehow, some way, it's going to happen. And a lot of people are going to lose money. And a lot of people don't have time to get that money they lost back. So, you know, you can help protect them from the downside markets by getting them an indexed annuity. And usually using the product, the theme is what I want you. I don't think I have anything that tells us about, but, you know, if you're a licensed rep with me and you have a theme, I want you to contact the carrier. You got to get yourself some information packets for the clients anyway. So get some folders, get some information packs, and talk about the Performance Elite 10 and Performance Elite 15. That's the new one, which gives them a 13% bonus on their money. Now, it does go by age, so not everybody gets 13%, so call the carrier. I'm not going to tell you everything because I want you to get used to contacting the carrier. You've got to get used to that part of the puzzle to become a great agent. So if I gave you all the information, you become lazy at this. Now, you want all the information from me, but I can't help you that way. So what you need to do is contact your carriers to get really close to them and build a relationship with them, okay? It's like having McDonald's and saying that I'm not going to order my burgers this week and I'm going to let that go because I'm just going to give people patties, bread, onion, lettuce, tomato, and special sauce, lettuce, cheese, right? But I'm not going to give them a burger. Without this, your business won't run correctly. That's contacting your carriers. Okay, get used to doing that and enjoy the business. Have a good time doing it. Don't get all stressed out about small things. Hell, we all got, what, 40, 50, 30 years, some of us. Don't worry about this. Don't sweat it, man. So how do you get to these pieces of the puzzle that I'm going to put together right here will lead you to creating the sale, okay? The number one highlighted today is leads. If you are not on a weekly lead order, just tell them to turn on the fountain. Every Friday, every Monday, every Wednesday, I need leads. I see you all on Facebook. I know what you're doing in your lives. You are spending money, so do not blame it on not having the capital to do so, okay? Because there are $4 lead resources out there. If you have to back off your life a little bit to create a better life, meaning if you have to take a step back for 30 days, to create 4 weeks of lead flow, do it, because it's going to turn out that your money's going to rise up and you're going to have a better lifestyle over this way. So step back off your lifestyle a little bit. Start investing small numbers. It works. Trust me. I've lived off this for 2 years. I know that the B leads work. They wouldn't offer them if they didn't. Okay? Yes, I know people are making money on these leads. However, I just want you to understand that it also leads to you making money. These people who have not been contacted or have the wrong product in place is who you're helping. And I want you to imagine every single dial that you make doesn't have it or has the wrong product in place. Here's a little secret. If you just contact these individuals with products already and they say, no, I've already taken care of that. Well, that's fine, Mrs. Jones. I'm glad you did that. But you know what? 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you right now, I can get you 2 times more to leave behind and half the price. I have carriers unlike anybody else. I've been doing this a lot longer than most in this area. I'm able to get you 2 times more. 9 times out of 10, I can do this. And I can get you half the cost of what you're paying now. And then we can leave your family 2 times the amount or even a lot more. So I'm already in, this is important to say, I'm already in the area, all right? I'm already in that area. In fact, I'm right down the street at your neighbor's house. I'll say that too. I'm right down the street to your neighbor's home. It's about 2 to 5 minutes from your home. It'll be no problem to stop by at 1 p.m., 2, 3, 7 p.m., 10 a.m., whatever the case may be. Whatever fits into your schedule, you pitch. You control your schedule at all times. You control your schedule at all times. People want me to come on a Friday. This will look at me and say, you working Friday? No, we're not. I know how to function the business because that's the growth phase of the business. That's working with reps. That's my education time. Yes, I have education time built into my schedule. We all have this. We all have the same time on earth. Okay, this is a very bad calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a week, of course, as you all know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to work out here. I have to sell the leads I have. I just put sell the leads I have. I have to train reps. If I mark down every 15 minutes of the day of what I have to do, I have no excuse. I have time. All of you giving me the excuse, I have no time, I'm so busy, the kids, my shopping, my mother, this, that. That's why you always never reach this, is because your excuse of not having a time is your mind tricking you. It's just false evidence appearing real, man. It isn't real. You have to design your own mindset around how you're going to function your business. Everybody gets into this business, looks at the guy ahead of them and says, wow, he makes $100,000 a year. He makes $500,000. And he doesn't look like he works much. But you don't see what he's gone through to get to this point that he's at. You don't see him at his desk at night at 12 a.m. in the morning. You don't see those kind of things. And you need to get right with yourself and start functioning in a way where you start scheduling everything. Because a lot of you are telling yourself lies by saying, I don't have time, but I can guarantee if you write down on a sheet of paper, every 15 minutes of what you do during the day, you're going to find gaps in time, huge gaps. By the way, I got to read a book here. I got to read a chapter here. And this doesn't change. I can do it. My laziness would change it if I didn't do it, but that's it. So once it's in the schedule, it's in. There's nothing else nothing can take its place. I don't allow it to happen, okay? So I don't let somebody call me and say, hey, there's something that we need to do. I want to go out. You want to do this? No is the answer. Okay, I'm not doing it. I got things to do. I'm a busy guy. I want to get ahead in life. If you're a loser, don't call me. Unless you want to work together with me. I just want to get ahead, man. And that's just how it is. So, to get to these places, we know that we have to have a standing lead order. Put a standing lead order in. Try it for 30 days, man. Cancel everything else out that you do, bad habits, the whole 9 yards, whatever you're doing. Quit smoking, quit tobacco, quit Red Bulls, quit coffee. Whatever you got to do to get through the next 30 days, just do it. So when we take our mortgage protection lead and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Jason, calling on behalf of ABC Bank. The guy that has the information for you for that mortgage protection information requested. I'm in the area tomorrow, 2 p.m. I can see you and Mr. Jones at 2 p.m. Does that work well for you? I can get you the information? Yes, it does. Okay, great. I'll see you at 2 p.m. There's one. Hang up. Hey, number 1, 2. Hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Jason. I'm doing a follow-up. I'm calling on behalf. I'm sorry. I'm doing a follow-up call. The follow-up call part would be is if I had final expense, I was thinking of final expense mixed into this. You can mix final expense and mortgage protection into one day. So if you have both of them coming in, remember what I'm talking about is B leads, guys. So you can get like A lead final expense and B lead mortgage protection to try it. If you're new to mortgage protection, to try it out, use B lead mortgage protection and A lead final expense, or B and B. Okay. I know a lot of you don't have much money to get started, and that's the tough part, but it's not impossible. So this is how you do it. Doing a follow-up call to the call that you received yesterday or a few days ago, because these are going to be older, or it might have been a few weeks ago. This is an older lead. I got a lot coming in. I'm just trying to get to everybody. But however, I got the information on the final expense information you requested. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow at 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Would that work? Or 3 p.m., whatever works best for you guys in your schedule. If I were you and I had a lot of leads, I would learn to set every hour on the hour. And people say, why do you do that? Because I don't care if I get to everybody. If they're really serious, I can put them in the next day. But what it does for me is it allows my income to grow exponentially because I have a lot of people to see. I'm guaranteed to see, 3 to 5 people that day with every 8. If I get 8 appointments in a day, I'm guaranteed to see 3 to 5. And the other 3 to 4 or 5 can be rescheduled if I can't reach them. So you try to spend an hour with each individual or 30 minutes if you can, and get out the door and shoot, unless you're running into the annuities, and it's going to take a little while. So that's why, I do it this way. But you can easily do it this way and get a lot more money at the end of the week. So, the mortgage protection leads. I'm calling on behalf of ABC Mortgage. I'm the rep that handles that area. I have the information. I'll be in your area tomorrow to deliver that information. Are you Mr. Jones, going to be there at 4 p.m. On Monday? Yes, we will be. Okay, I got another one. So, as you can see, you just keep banging away at it. And if it takes 8 hours to fill your schedule, then do it. I know it's boring, so sometimes you just walk away from it. You don't have to set all damn day long, but just walk away from it and come back. Think about people that sit at their job 5, 6, 7 days a week, sit at a desk in a cubicle, and that's all they do is dial. And they're doing it for hourly wages. You do it for tens of thousands of dollars a week. And all you have to do is prepare yourself for the week. That's it. It's all in the mindset that you bring to this game. You have the money. Don't make an excuse with that. It's just your mindset won't allow you to succeed. Because a lot of you also, you need to know the products too. I gotta tell you, you gotta know these products. What products should you know? That's what I'm gonna go over next. I want you, here's what products you should be using, okay? You should be using, by far, you have to have Mutual of Omaha's Living Promise down. Living Promise, the GUL, and the GUL Express. The term products, ROP and non-ROP products, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically. So they're very simple to know and learn, and you can have the carrier teach them, or you can go on YouTube and just YouTube these Living Promise, GUL, GUL Express, term, and do one a day, or in a whole day. Take a whole carrier and learn those products, because that's all you're going to use, really. Now, with the AIG, it's very simple because it's just a guaranteed issue. So learn the AIG guaranteed issue, because nobody beats that price. And the great part about that product is, even though it's a guaranteed issue, you get paid 6 months in advance. So that's cool for that product. So you're getting 6 months in advance, then you're getting overrides, and that's really neat, okay? So you get enough of those in play, you can have a nice monthly income coming in after the 9 to 13 month mark. All you got to do is get 1 to 2 years in this business, and then remember, you get a residual income on what you sold already. So you just got to get through the first 1 to 2 years. The Foresters is gorgeous because nobody really beats that plan right. You know, that plan right product will probably dust the living promise, but the plan right for final expense is unbelievable. You know, it really is. They have a few more. The Smart UL is gorgeous. The Smart UL is incredible. They have some termed out products that really work well too, that really work really well with some people with some health issues, and they do some gorgeous things there at Foresters. That's a great product, man. That's probably one of my favorites is this one here, to be honest with you. That Smart UL too, by the way. Let's put it this way, when this GUL has 100, and let me explain something. When this GUL Express and this Smart UL, which is a universal life, it's guaranteed issue universal life. This UL, you can create the premium for it at half the price, so 1/2 the price. You can, it works real well. You have to get online with me to go with that, but I can teach you guys how to manipulate this a little bit. F&G is a great one for the Index Universal Life and LSW. LSW, if you want to give people a lot of living benefits, they outperform anybody with that. The F&G product outperforms anybody. So the illustrations, when you lay the illustrations in front of somebody, it's great. This has like 5.85% on the cash value, by the way, on the Smart UL. So it's when you illustrate it, that's why I say, if you know what the price of the home is, you can go in with the illustration. There's one illustration to buy them time to sell the house. There's one illustration that pays half of the back end off, meaning they paid the mortgage halfway through, 15 years. Now they owe 15 years. He died in 15 years. Now they owe 15 years. And then you pay the whole damn thing off. So you do 3 illustrations, put it on the man of the house, usually, the male, and go in there and present. You can also bring one for the female. Yes, it's a lot of paperwork. Oh, I can do it on my laptop. Yeah, sure. But I always felt like handing them something, having something tangible in front of them, proved anybody can pull anything off the internet, and people may not believe it. These older people don't deal with these computers. So if you're dealing with a younger crowd, you can present online and things like that. But these older people like to feel it, and if you can pull it up on the internet too, that'd be good too, to show them two things. If you really want this sale, and because you could sell these $100, $200, $300 premiums easily with mortgage protection when you do it right and you prove that it works. All these people out there selling a lot of premium, selling a lot of product, but not high premiums. I have to see less people every week than most, but I see just as many people, and I make more too. But I sell high premiums. Remember, here's a simple way to get to the annuity, okay? To get to the annuity, all we want to say is in our illustration somewhere, our presentation, I mean, is that what else are you going to be leaving to Mrs. Jones? Do you have a pension, 401k, 403b, something in that order? Whatever they may have, IRA. Sometimes if you say these things and they say no, you may have to continue to say things. I've had people say no to this 3, and then I said, do you have an IRA? And they say yes. So they didn't understand at all. Well, do you have anything that you're leaving behind? Anything. You have stock-based products, anything that you're leaving behind that your wife will inherit. Okay? Maybe you guys will find a different route once you get my strategies and develop your own way and make it better. But for now, this works. That's all you need to say. And then, you know, they say, yes, I have a 401k, I have a 403b, I have a thrift savings, I have whatever it may be, I have an IRA. Okay, there's the point, though, is how much is it leaving behind next? Remember, they will tell you what the product is, but you don't know how much it's leaving. So for most of you, here's the strategy. You're trying to get an illustration. You're going from here to here to here, down to here, and you want to come back. So when you focus on knowing what's in the house, you got that out of the way, okay? But what you want to know now is that you can sell yourself or them a mortgage protection or final expense product and then come back. Don't tell them that you're going to do an illustration. Don't let them know that. For you beginners, this is how I want you to do it. This is easily duplicatable than the way I do it. So what I want you to do is come back when you deliver this product. I want you to let them know that you're going to deliver the policy. Then you'll have plenty of time to focus on illustration and coming up with the best scenario for them. When you walk back through the door, you're going to put your mortgage protection and final expense on the table and say, hey, you know what? I come up with something, and I knew that there was something that I had to do for you. I wanted to present you with an opportunity of protecting your wife from the worst day of her life, which is losing you and then losing a lot of money too. I know what's going on out there, and I want to share with you the perfect example of what to do in case you die so your wife inherits more money than just this. If it's final expense, maybe it's $10,000 or $40,000. And that's a real good excuse to get this in place, because then you can show in the illustration that, hey, Mr. Jones, your $100,000 turned into $240,000 in just 10 years. So, and there's no downsides to this. There's no fees. It's just doubles the money. And that's been proven for, you know, basically the past 40 or 35 years to do so in this kind of product. So we show them the illustration, we show them the history, we show them the company. You can present. You may not get the sale the first time. You want to avoid them at all costs from getting a hold of this. But somebody may say, yeah, you know what, I want to run this by my stockbroker. Hey, so inside your pitch or your pitch, you could state that, you know, this isn't a stock-based stockbroker stock product. He will never tell you about this. He cannot sell this product. All he's based upon is making money on your money. This is based on making money when they make money. So they, you know, when they make money, and they do, you get a piece of the pie, but they don't take a piece of your puzzle. Okay? They're not taking anything from you. They're giving from theirs. Your stockbroker takes from yours. So they give to you from theirs. Your stockbroker takes from yours. All right? That's how he makes his 3% annual. Now, at this point, let me ask you a question really seriously. Has your stockbroker ever doubled your money? Has he ever doubled your money? Now, if it's been 40 years, he may have. But if it's not been about 40 years, no is the answer. Is he done it in 10 or 5 or 10 years? No would be the answer, because you just can't do it. He's taking 3% off of it. Okay, without that 3%, I know it won't double, because I know the stocks haven't gone that high to do so, and I know there's void points in the earning process along the way, and then they hope for a 21% rise in value, and that's where they get all their shits and giggles out. And then they have to remember that each year they were taking 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12% along a journey that made nothing. And then all of a sudden it goes up to 21, which still taking 3% out of that 21 is, you know, it doesn't make any sense to me to have somebody that's a last bit of money, by the way, invested into something where they can lose it. This is about protecting that for the rest of their lives and inheriting it at a less taxational rate. So again, just getting them to the illustration is what I want you guys to do. So get the sale, come back and deliver the policy and illustrate, put the illustration down in front of them. You can put more than one too, by the way. You don't have to use the whole $100,000. So remember, you could split that in half or 3/4. You don't have to use the whole 100,000. So just half in, half out. Let them play in the market, half in, half out, you know. So that's also cool to do too. You know, when you're selling mortgage protection and final expense, your insurance language helps a lot, okay? Let me read a couple of these things here. I got to read some stuff here. Jennifer, I don't know if you lost your license, but you can get back into the business. You can contact me. I have 20, I've got one client under 35. I know 20 years old that are right in the home. Well, Ryan, I do too. So we understand that, but it was, that's great. And there are, you know, I know a few teenagers that are doing it too. But here's the bottom line. And I'll get back to this in a second. Ryan, what I was stating is that by statistics, that if you're 30 years of age, they do a hell of a lot better with mortgage protection working with a younger crowd, okay? In final expense, the age I've never seen matter too much. So in mortgage protection, they do a hell of a lot. We have a statistic in our group, so we know by a few thousand people that that's the numbers. And in many, 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 many IMOs that I've been a part of, it's the same. Let me read over here. I got a webinar going on too, guys, so let me read on what's going on here. Oh, I got you. Thanks. Okay, so if you have any questions in this, please ask in the box down here. Rob, if you have any questions, just speak up. So in this sales presentation, you know, let's take this as a sheet of paper. Always know their name. Put their name in here. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Put their age, 62 years of age. This is Mrs. Jones. Put their age, 63. When you're selling mortgage protection, to get to the bottom line, you could walk in the house and say, hey, how much money's left over at the end of the month? Because that's what we need. You have $500 to $1,000 left over a month. Okay, I could pitch 1, 2, 3 items on the board, and you can try to get out very quickly. Here's $100 grand to cover the house, or here's $200 grand, here's $100,000, and here's $25,000. This one covers the whole house, this one covers halfway through, and this one will help you sell the home. This $500 to $1,000, which one are you closer to? I'm closer to $500. So roughly every month you can use $100 to $200, and that won't affect you too much, right, Mrs. Jones? Right. That's a quick way in and out of homes if you want to do it that way. Slam down 3. Ask what roughly they have at the end of the month. You're in and out. What product would you use though? That's where the defining moment comes in. So asking a few questions up front is what you need to do. You got to get the illustration out to, you know, when I'm doing this, I'm kind of learning about the individuals. Besides asking them what the total on the mortgage is, what the monthly mortgage is, it's $1,000 a month, and their earning potential in the household. You also need to bring out the scripts. You got to ask them, you know, what scripts are you on? You might want to kind of qualify them by asking simple questions. In the past 4 years, have you had any surgeries, any major surgeries, internal surgeries? Do you have any heart issues? Have you had any heart attacks, stroke, cancer, things like that? Do you have diabetes? These are simple questions to ask right up front to get you an idea of what product you may want to use for your mortgage protection. Now, I'm telling you right now that these smart ULs will work very well, and they're very easy to use inside the home for foresters. That Plan Right also. So that's a great product for starting reps and new reps and veteran reps even to use. Some people find an interest in using the product that they like the most because they just like it the most, or it was the only one that they knew of. 9 times out of 10, when somebody's telling you to use a product, it's only because they only know that product. And they don't know, they're not aware of the other dimensions of what they can do with these other individual products. So don't be fooled by everybody that tells you things. Go investigate for yourself what's out there. If a company's offering 50 freaking products, why do you think they're offering 50 products? One is for earning potentials of the agency, of course, to give more opportunity per home in case of health issues and things like that. But it's also to deliver some of the best products on earth versus the product that you may be used to. But if you are used to it and you're good at it, you can't sell the hell out of it. But here's the problem with that. This industry is expanding like the universe. It's going fast. When I got into this business, it wasn't as close to as many reps as I'm seeing now in it. And there's not as many people going into the homes as when I first started. I might have to go against one rep before when I first started. Like one other guy was in the house. Now it's 5 different people in the home. So what I'm telling you is if you don't put the right product on the table, somebody else will. And don't listen to your upline. Half the time these uplines are MLM business owners trying to put some shit on Facebook, acting like they bigwig, and they don't know much about these products. They're not teaching you enough, but it's really in your hands to do that. You're a business owner, you're a grown-up, so start learning your products. Find out which one works best for you. I'm just saying Forrester's works great in a lot of situations, very easy product to use. You always got Mutual Omaha too, but long story short, you want to get your scripts down, you want to ask some easy health questions. I don't see any oxygen. Do you want any oxygen other than, do you have COPD? That'd be an important question. COPD. If they say yes, you automatically know that if you want to do it right, you get them Transamerica, which will give them a level immediate payout benefit. So anytime you see that word, you go to trans and you get that done. But for a long story short, to go through this, you got $200,000 mortgage that needs paid. You got 2 62-year-old individuals who don't want to leave a debt to one another. You got Mr. Jones. Here's how if you don't know who to put it on, this is how you figure out how to put it on. This is how I came up with this. So I didn't know in the beginning because nobody taught me how to sell mortgage protection. I learned all this on my own. Nobody taught me nothing about this. I learned all on my own, okay, which is a shame, but it happened. So that's a lot to say by the company that you're with and the company you keep, your upline, things like that. If you learn this, you should be learning it from your upline. And if you grab something from them, it just means that you carried it onto your own and you made it your own. Develop your own skills. I got Social Security is a big question to find out who to leave this on. Here's how you ask though. Real simply, out of the 2 of you, who earns the 2 of the higher Social Securities? Out of the 2 of you, who earns the 2 of the higher Social Securities? Mr. Jones will always do, 9 times out of 10, it's him. Mr. Jones does. This is great to know this because at the end, it really helps when you run into when you run into the annuities. Now you're a financial guy. They trust you. I treat this like you walked in my office. A lot of you walk into their house. I walk into my office. So I got Social Security up on the board. Mr. Jones got $3,000 a month. Mr. Jones got $750. How do I know that? Because I said, out of the 2 of you, who has the 2 of the higher Social Security incomes? Mr. Jones says, I do. And I said, so what are you going to be leaving her in Social Security benefit? What benefit will you be leaving behind? How much are you earning a month is basically what I'm asking, because that's what you'll be leaving behind, Mr. Jones. $3,000 a month. Okay, so Mrs. Jones, during the time period where you're waiting, I don't know if you know this or not, but you will be waiting 6 to 12 months to receive that $750 or $3,000. How much do you bring in? When you're waiting 6 to 12 months, how much do you have coming in? I have $750 a month. Okay, so your mortgage is about $1,000 a month, right? So we know that that's no good. We got to fix this. So the playing field already is out of whack. Now, but is it? Still, we don't know it is because we still don't know what he has in place. So we have to continue. You have life insurance. We'll say no for this illustration. However, you know if they do that you two are to list them all out because you could find term products that go for the next 5 years that are no good and they don't know it. People think some of these products go for the rest of their life. I got an index universal life product. That doesn't go forever. Maybe that has 5 years on it due to cost of insurance. Find out what cost of insurance is, guys, and you will find out the key to taking people out of index universal lives and then replacing the product and getting them their cash value. Number 3, I have a whole life. However, it's only $5,000, but it comes with accidental at 100 grand or some shit. It's all garbage. Okay, so what we want to do, take these 3 premiums, We bundle them up into one premium, and we sell one big product to them instead of 3 garbage. All right? So that's what happens, but for this case, they said no. Anyway, we're going to keep going on. Okay, great. No life insurance. So do you happen to have, how about, will you be leaving her anything else behind? Do you have a pension? No, I do not. If they do have a pension, by the way, you want to say, are you leaving 50% or is it 100% of your pension? Because that makes a difference in the income. Then you're going to move on. Yes, I have a 401k. Okay, great. What are you going to be leaving behind? This is just one illustration. 401k. Yes, I'm going to be leaving. There's roughly $250,000 in that 401k. Okay, when's the last time you checked it? Are you sure that that's what she'll be left behind? Yeah, I checked it a week ago. That's exactly where it's at. Okay, great. So for you newbies, now you have the information. So what you're to do is focus on the mortgage protection sale from this point. You have the information for the illustration now. So all you did was get to the illustration point. And now what I want you to do is I want you to sell the mortgage protection. I want you to focus on that by then leading them into, you know what I'm going to do, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? I really want to help you. So I'm just going to interact with you a little bit. I want to play something out here for you. Do you have between 500, after you pay all your bills, let's figure the math out on this. This is just a mathematical problem because we know she needs help. We got that, okay? But this 250,000 is great and everything, but due to market volatility, the 3% the broker's charging you, we could lose a lot of that too. So we don't want to depend on 250 grand. And if we did, we want to make sure that that stays in place for her retirement. We don't want her touching that to pay this mortgage off. We just want to leave it go for retirement because there's inflation, tax increases. She's going to have to deal with everything that life has thrown at her for the last 50, 60, 70 years of her life. So let's play a role here. Let's say 500, 750, or $1,000. Which one are you closer to at the end of the month after you pay all your bills off? We're closer to $1,000. Okay, great. Now I know that I can sell $300 to $500 a month policy easily. But I have to show them why it's valuable. I have to show them where their money's going. I have to present to them the fact that it's earning cash value or it's got return. Well, they're out of return of premium. It's got to put something in place that shows them money is being returned. So if the only thing I know of is Index Universal Life or the UL. So that Smart UL would work great here. It would work fantastic. The only other product I know of would, I don't want to get you guys too many products out there. I just want to stick to this for now. We'll talk about a new product every week. How's that? For this week, we'll talk about Forrester Smart UL and the Plan Right product. So for now, let's do Smart UL. Check that product out. It would work fantastic in this scenario for both of them. And getting a small policy on Mrs. Jones would be wise too for Mr. Jones. Remember, the playing field is what you want to play out to them. Mrs. Jones, this playing field isn't even. Mr. Jones, if she dies, you're fine. You have nothing to worry about. Mrs. Jones, when he goes, you've got a lot to worry about. You have a $200,000 mortgage to pay. You have $750 coming in a month. They will put the sticker on his door at the bank in 2 months. You'll be on the streets. We got to save you from that day. Worst case scenario, he dies in 15 years. You got all the equity in the world built up into this home. We don't want you losing that. So what we need to do is be able to get a policy that at least allows you to sell the home. Buy her something small, get her a $25,000 policy. But what I would do is I would cover the mortgage for it. You die tomorrow, get this damn thing out of the way. It's not that you don't have enough money. But I'm going to show you a way if she died that you're taking care of too. So when I'm able to show him that the Smart UL builds cash value, I'm able to say to him, if she dies in 15 years, here's what you're left with. And I can show him the cash value sheet. Okay? So if he's dumping $300 a month into it, $3,600 a year, $36,000 every 10 years, that's a big number for him to earn interest on, like 5.85% annually on the cash value. So that's a nice chunk of change at the end. That roughly comes to is about $150 a month is earning interest. So if you split the premium in half, usually that's what's earning interest. The other half's going to rent what the death benefit is. So if you guys never knew that, just do that. That's a close number anyway. Anyway, that's about it. And unless you guys have any questions, Rob, any questions on Facebook? That's a hell of a mess there, but that's really how it works. That's how you get to the annuity. Now, at the end of this, you sold your mortgage protection policy, okay? Now you're out the door. You get that policy in your hands, or if they get it in their hands, you got to come back to explain it. When you receive the policy, I want to come back and explain it to you. You should be doing that with all your clients. That's a great way to get referrals. That day you come back to explain, bring some gift cards, give them a $10 gift card, and say, I have more of these, but I would love to give you more, and I got larger ones too. Show them a $100 gift card. Maybe it's a card that you've already used. You can already have used the cards that you're presenting, and you're just saying to them, here's a gift card for $100. You know, I'd really love to have some referrals out of this, Dave. Would you be able to give us some referrals? And that would be awesome. So what we did is we want you to come back to the house and deliver the policy. But what you have accomplished in the home is being able to get two 62-year-old individuals the illustration that shares with them how they will double their retirement in 10 years. Double their retirement in just 10 years. And here's the cool thing. The 10-year look-back boxes like this, there's 3 of them. You can use the higher the interest one, which was usually the middle one, has the earning potential over the next 10 years, and it'll show the number. If they were with the company for the past 10 years, it'll say $580,000 here because they're going to get a 10% bonus or 13% bonus to start. So they're going to be at $580,000 in 10 years. Here's the game plan for this. When you come back, you say, you know what, when I was gone, I found a way to get your house paid off in 5 to 10 years. And I wanted to share that with you while protecting your future and your wife's future. So use those words. I found a way to pay the house off. Hey, guys, if you lose this deal, let's say you don't sell your mortgage protection, okay? They're not interested. They have somebody else coming back. Okay, when should I call you? We'll always leave an appointment, by the way, with another appointment. So whether it's a phone call or another sit, you've got to set an appointment from the appointment to come back. So delivering a policy, set the appointment to come back, all right? So you don't know when the policy is going to come in, but if you're getting the policy delivered to you, and you're good at this, you know when policies get to you, you can say, hey, well, I'll call you in a week or two when the policy's in, and we'll set it from there. But if it's to really discuss, again, the mortgage protection sale that you didn't get, try to say, hey, look, I'd love to set another appointment after you've seen the next rep. But if you see another reps, you know, basically you all use the same stuff. You're really just choosing. I use better products, to be honest with you, but a lot of those guys use the same material, same products. I'd like to be able to come back and share with you this again. If you don't get that, then you can contact them and say, hey, look, I found a way to pay the house off in 5 years with no money out of pocket. It's a new product that we are using at our company to get homes paid off in 5 to 10 years, and I'd love to present it to you. Then you bring the illustration back. So every person that has ever said no to you, who you know, and you probably don't know, that's the reason you can't get back in, is you don't know if they have an annuity or if they have money or an IRA, things like that, because you didn't do this presentation. This presentation leads to coming back into homes, man. I sell more product than I sell more old policies too, and this might be even. People that have said no in the past too. I get a lot of no's too, guys. But that's why I got an outstanding lead order every single week. Go for no, man. You know, you get the yes. Yes, 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 yes. Is the Forcer Smart UL guaranteed level premium to age 95? I'm trying to avoid writing a G loan from mutual. Yeah. Wait, let me read this question again. Is Forcer Smart UL guaranteed level premium? Oh, yeah. Yes, it does. You can set it up. You can, yeah, that's not a problem to have that done. contact the carrier to be sure, but does it have level premiums till age 95? It's not a problem. Yeah, or in the Smart UL, it's a level premium all the way through till death. So you won't have a problem with that. That's a great product to write on that Smart UL. Has a lot of benefits too. So ask about any benefits that it comes with too. Guys, learn from the carriers. You know, the only thing I tell you to do is you can just call your carriers up and be educated by them. I need to really sit down and call the carriers a lot too. Sometimes I lose what they've given me, or I forget sometimes because I need to switch up products, and I may be running into a month where I stop using a certain product because it just doesn't fit into the need of the house, or it doesn't fit into the health of what the house is offering. So I got to go back to the contacted carriers, you know. So it's great to do that. But here at the end of the day, you know, even with ages like 30-year-old individuals, you know, once this gets 30, it becomes very difficult to write on. So I'm sorry if it's light. 30 years of age, same thing goes down, you know, but it changes a little bit. Do you have a 401k at work would be the question. Do you have a retirement plan in place at work? For the young people, you say this. And the reason is because if you use an index universal life on these guys, you can use the term ROP too. This is for people that can't really sell. You know, or I don't want to say can't sell, but they just feel more comfortable pitching this, or whatever the case may be. I shouldn't have said can't sell, but they feel more comfortable selling the ROP because it's very easy. It pays very well too. So, you know, if it's about your finances and just getting them the right product for 30 years, but imagine, the reason I don't like it is because it's just, you know, in 30 years, I know they're going to be looking for something else. And they may be older, they may be unhealthy. Yes, they can keep this going. They probably turn this into a whole life. You know, there's things they can do, but it's going to be very expensive at that time. So, you know, I also asked them about retirement. So maybe we'll do the return of premium, and we'll do something small on the indexing side, because on the indexing side, what we want to do is we can have small numbers in here, sure, and we can still overfund it. So we can get the smallest product that they offer. It's usually $25,000 is the low end on the face amount, is where usually index universal life start. And we can overfund it from there. So meaning that they're taking advantage of all the interest that this is offering by throwing an extra $100 a month at it. So for the young people, if they don't have a retirement schedule, you not only get them the ROP, but put something in place that's going to surpass that, or you could come back next year and replace that. Okay? So if you do the ROP, the genius behind this is getting back in there in a year or two and replacing all your ROP products with whole life and making more money. You get paid the highest interest rates the industry offers on your term products. Why wouldn't you sell them, right? I mean, you'd have to be a stupid business owner not to sell it. So it takes certain ages, though, to do so. So you really need, you know, to be in the ranges of 50 and below. I think ROP stops at when? Does anybody know? Again, I always forget this. 60, is it 60 or is it 50 years of age?
Mutual of Omaha is 50, Jay.
Mutual of Omaha is 50. Somebody was online the other day and told me they had somebody that went to 60, but they never told me who. So here's a great illustration for people that will not have 401ks. They better put something away for their future, but you don't have to do it there at that time. You can always come back to do it, or you could do it at that time. You could sell both products. Keep this one for the future. Depends. Are they making $4,000 to $10,000 a month? If they are making $10,000 a month as a young person, they can afford to overfund something, and they better, because they don't have anything for their future. They don't think about this kind of stuff. You have to make them understand that they will one day want to retire. And it's your job to get them in a position to do so by illustrating an index universal life at the highest interest rate. Who would I use? Yes, you can use a Forrester's product here. The Smart UL can be used for this situation, and it can be overfunded. Doesn't come with the highest interest rates, but it can be used. If you want the highest interest rates, all you need to check out F&G. All right. So at worst, you can use LSW too, because F&G, LSW, and for me, the Forresters. So that's all I use. Long story short, too, is that you need to explain some of the benefits these products come with. This term ROP, what are the living benefits? What is the percentage the living benefits pay out? All right. So, you know, I got a $100,000 policy here. Pays his wife $100 grand. He gets internal cancer. Year goes by, they give him a check for what, 95%? Or is it 85%? Depends on the company, really. So 95% or 85%. So, but he gets, you know, he has a heart attack. That's the good side of this, though, is that it's not a loan. It doesn't mean, you know, that's the value that you sell with these products. If you forget the value and you sell all on face amount, you're not doing it right. You're doomed. You got to sell the value. Yes, the face amount's gorgeous and everything, and so is the price usually. But, you know, these benefits are just inside there. You got to sell on it. And then the ROP. I show people what the ROP looks like. Oh, it comes with all the money back at the end. You don't lose a dime. You're renting this for 30 years. So if you die tomorrow, they owe you $100 grand. Or you owe your wife. So the only disappointing part to people and a lot of men is they don't get to toy around with that money maybe. I don't know. I don't feel that way. What do I give a shit? Leave her $1 million. I don't care, you know. I don't get it. When some people want to, they spend money, you know they're spending money. If people don't believe you, go over their financial list with them and catch them in their own line. Now, they're not going to admit it at the end. They'll keep saying that they may have more bills than they're talking about, but 9 times out of 10, you can do a list. You can create your own list and print it out. Everybody always asks people, do you have this? Do you have that for your sales? Yes, I do have a few items, and I'm in the process of creating things right now. I need more patience. It's not as easy as it looks when it comes to creating stuff that I need you guys. It needs to be understandable, it needs to be duplicatable, and it needs to work. So it's not easy to create that until I practice it and use it myself and make sure it does work. So where the hell was I going? Well, I'll tell you what, I forgot what the hell I was going to put down here. Anybody have any questions? Any questions at all? How long has it been? Now? Okay, great. You know, if you're interested in joining my group, or you're interested in learning more about this group and the training courses that we offer and the education that goes down daily, by the way, and you're interested in the first class mail that we offer, and then the being first in the home. See, that may not mean much to anybody that doesn't understand what that value is, but being first inside the home, generally, when you do the right thing and you get the right premiums and the right product in place, no rep can come behind you and take you off. You're first in the house. So your leads are incredible, by the way. The final expense leads are the same, by the way. This is mortgage protection and final expense. You will be first in the home, guaranteed. Okay. So if you want more information on that, just hit me with a text, and we can talk about that. And if you want to talk about more education, which is done daily, what the education is it goes over final expense, mortgage protection, product knowledge, goes over the Smart ULs, it goes over the Index Universal Life from F&G, it goes over the Annuities from Athene, internally, how they work. It pulls them apart. And then we go over the sales process also a little bit. So if you're interested in doing that, I'm going to put a number up on the board here, and then you can text that, and I'll give you more information behind the scenes, okay? So you can text YOIN to 252-255-2594. And thank you all for coming, okay? I'll leave this up for one more moment. If you have any questions, let me know. Rob, I'll see you later, buddy. You have any questions? You good? Anybody have any questions? Anybody? I will. It's usually Fridays and weekends, so I'll let Alyssa know. Anybody have any questions on the webinar? Anybody have any questions on the? Thank you guys for all the likes. I really appreciate it. If you could share this video, let people know that you learned something new from this. It would be great. Great help to me to get to others, and we can help share this these strategies with more people. You know. So thank you all for being here today, and thank you, Travis, very much for that. Yeah, no fluff, baby. All right, let me see if I've got a question. I'll let you know when we're free, bud. We'll go from there. All right, guys, I will see you. Thank you very much on the webinar, and thank you on Facebook.